Hey, good morning, Outlaw Nation. How are you? It is the Outlaw John Rocha. Happy President's Day holiday for you. Look, I'm all showered up, got the gel in the hair, got the glasses on, got the clothes on, because I'll be heading over to SCN Live after this show, Mornings with the Outlaw. But I want to have a great show today. I want to say hi to everybody who's in here right now. MK Songbird, what's going down? Haskell 420, what's up, my man? Rick Samoris up in here. Chris Scorpio, yo. What's going down? Randall Tan, welcome back, everybody. Luis Macias is up in here. Jake Iacovetta dropped a great message saying he's not going to be able to be here for the stream, but he wants everyone to have a good one. And you got to give some love to Jake Iacovetta if you get a chance sometime today or tomorrow. My man is kicking ass on these thumbnails. He just built this thumbnail for this Mornings with the Outlaw, so he's been so essential in helping me get the graphics and everything kind of squared away for this show that I love doing with you all. What's up, Terry S? Yes, afternoon from the UK. Good morning from the United States. Ben Rayner's up in here. Manny Gonzalez, Ben Landers. What's going down? Chris Rogers is in here. Zeno Hour. What's up, Zeno Hour? Welcome back. Daniel Butler says, good morning, Outlaw. How are you, sir? Sorry, Adelia Chamberlain's up in here too, and Eric the Red 06, Nate M. Pizza is up in here as well, and Manny Gonzalez. How are you and the lady doing? We're doing fine. She's feeling a little bit better. Still got a little bit of a tickle in her throat that she's working through, but doing a lot better. Certainly rested. She got to rest a lot this weekend, so she's feeling a little bit better as we get going here today on this holiday, this lovely holiday for President's Day. So today what I'm going to talk about, I'm going to jump into the Sonic box office. The Hedgehog did such incredible numbers there this weekend. Also going to talk about that set video that was leaked for Matrix 4 from a Twitter user. They caught video of Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Ann reunited on a motorcycle as they're shooting Matrix 4. And I think on the video, the guy says Redondo Beach. So I don't know if they're shooting there in Redondo Beach, which is really close to where I live, maybe like 20 minutes, 25 minutes away. So maybe I could sneak out and get a shot myself. And then I'm going to kind of wrap things up by talking about the best presidents on film or television, kind of a fun conversation, see what you all think as well. But remember, the Streamlabs are open. The Super Chats are open, please. Streamlabs is www.streamlabs.com/JohnRocha/tip. I think, and then with Super Chats, you know what to do with the Super Chats. So I do want to start the show off with something that I was on Twitter and just retweeted from Kevin Smith, which I thought was pretty awesome. Let me see here. Yeah, Kevin Smith was responding to a young woman, I think, at Sloan8211, the Sloan Ranger. She tagged Lin-Manuel Miranda, Nikki Blonsky, Keela Settle, and that Kevin Smith, and said, any advice for a girl that always gets cast as an extra in her high school plays because of her appearance? She is a big girl. She wants to give up on her dreams. And Kevin Smith responded in a fantastic way and said, don't wait to get picked by others. Pick yourself. I was this girl once, but then I wrote my own script that showcased what I could do and made it with my friends. Do this, rinse and repeat until they start picking you. But by then, you won't need them. You'll have your own thing. I think that's a fantastic piece of advice on this Monday morning to get us started for the week. A little motivational talk. This idea of waiting for other people to kind of decide your worth, decide what you can and can't do, decide what you're good and not good at. Sometimes you got to pick yourself, or if you really want to make a case, you want to leave a footprint in this world, you pick yourself and go forward with that. Create what you think is good. Fight for what you think is right. I'm discovering that as I've been starting this path since January, this idea of like, okay, what do I want to do? What do I want to say? I was tired of standing in line. I was tired of waiting for other people to select me, to pick me, to do whatever, waiting in line. Oh, meritocracy. Oh, these things, these words that are thrown out there that, are conveniently dismissed when the situation calls for someone else that they want to use. So at some point, you decide for yourself, well, what do I want to do? Do I want to keep waiting for other people to decide what I can do or what I should be doing or what I can create or what I can make or what I can succeed at? Or am I going to go out there and get it myself and take the chances and take the hits and keep fighting? There's that line in Rocky Balboa. It says, if you know what you're worth, then go and get what you're worth. But you got to be willing to take the hits. That's how winning is done. It's not about, oh, I'm going to go and do my own thing and then it's all going to be so successful. You can believe that, absolutely, and that should be your drive and your focus and your motivation. But you should also be strong enough to take the hits when they come, because you're going to be knocked down. You got to get back up and keep fighting if that's what you want. That's what it takes. And so I just want to give you guys a little motivational talk this Monday morning on a holiday, on President's Day. Thanks to Kevin Smith, who's saying, go and make your own work, because that's how you're going to establish yourself and have a real voice. And then people are going to come to you. People are going to see you for what you are. And all those people who didn't pick you, who thought you were not good enough because of how you look, or your race, or your age, or your gender, or any other reason, you remind them of someone they didn't like, or for whatever reason, they just don't like you, then this is, or don't want to pick you for all the bigger stuff, this is your way of going like, you know what? I'm going to go forward and do my own thing. And then you might wake up one day and they're the ones who are not being selected. They're the ones that people don't want to hear from or listen to, or whatever it is, whatever field you're in, you may find yourself being the person who is way out in head. So it just takes hard work, perseverance, belief, smarts, and the right people around you, the right team around you to get you to where you're going. And certainly that's been something that I've been so impressed by with the Outlaw Nation. So many people coming with me and like supporting me doing something like this, like Mornings with the Outlaw. People from Call to Action Army have been so great. Billy Belford, Jake Iacovetti, Paul Denuzzo, Iacovetto. So many people have come forward and be willing to help me. Brian Ward has helped me with graphics. There's so many incredible people in the world. Andrew DuMolante has offered to do videos for me. Nerd Chronic, Eric, same thing. It's been incredible to see the team that has popped up that's been willing to help me. It's been humbling, to say the least, but it's also motivated me to keep creating more and more content to build this channel out. And people like Greg Alba at The Real Rejects, like giving me all kinds of counsel and advice. So it helps to build your name and then to get out there and do the work to create your name even bigger, to create a bigger a brand, a bigger name around yourself, a piece of the pie for yourself. So there you go. That's my kind of like a little bit of motivational stuff for all of you. I hope you feel a little bit of sense of vibe for all of that, but I just wanted to let you guys know that's kind of in the place I am, and I loved it. Yeah, exactly. Randall Tan says hashtag never give up, and shout out to Kevin Smith for that great tweet back to one of his followers. All right. Let's see here. Wiley Todd, he's got a super chat. Hey, Rocha, got accepted to college for film. It's all because of you. Thank you, man. And have you seen Hot Rod? Well, there's two different directions that you can go in. Wiley, well, first of all, congratulations, man. Please, if I had any part in motivating you to go down this path, and man, I am absolutely humbled and honored to have been part of the journey. But dude, this is you doing it, you getting motivated to do it, you taking words that someone says, I'm sure I'm not the only person that motivated you, and putting that into action, and that's what it takes. So I'm very happy that you got accepted to college for film. All power to you, man. Maybe someday down the road we'll work on something together. Who knows? That'd be great. And yes, I have seen Hot Rod, the Andy Samberg film. Very funny film. Enjoy that film. Isla Fisher's in that one, I believe. So is Jorma Taccone, who's one member of the Lonely Island, and of course Ian McShane. And I think Sissy Spacek is his mom as well. So an interestingly little funny film that not a lot of people jumped into. So yeah, it should have gotten it. Let's see. Have I offended anybody with my where's the top of your? Oh, sorry guys. Sorry. Am I messing with that a little bit? Let me see. Yeah. Oh, I got a little too close. My bad. There we go. All right. There we go. Sorry guys. Just messing with the camera a little bit. Maybe I got a little too much zoom. There we go. All right. Now we're better. Anyway, I hope that was all right for you to see my mouth moving and give you some motivation. Alan Usleton, hi from Belfast. Well, hello. How you doing, Alan? Good to see you here in the chat. Let's see. Nate M is on a bus leaving New York City. All right. I hope you're going to someplace cool, Nate. I hope you're going to someplace fun to enjoy yourself on this holiday. Justin Towns, give another love shout out to my lady Outlaw. She is doing well. She's doing better. Brandon Davis says hi from Richmond, Virginia. Respect. Richmond, Virginia. The Spiders, home of the Spiders. Let's see what else we got. Akhtar is looking forward to Liverpool versus Atletico Madrid tomorrow in the Champions League. Eric the Red's talking about Sonic. I'll talk about that in just a second. Just wanted to say hi to everybody who's jumped in here. Someone called me Tony Robbins Rocha, which is really funny. Oh, Quentin Waltz, Tony Robbins Rocha. I'm just saying. Kevin Mertz says, "Hey, Rogue, I would love to be a part of the sports section for the Outlaw Nation's website. I'm studying statistics so I can do numbers as well." Kevin, great. Email me, please. Go to my Instagram at the Rocha says. It has my email on there. Email me and let me see and show me what you got or what you do. And definitely, because Game Time is coming. That's the name of the sports show. Game Time. Definitely going to drop. Looking to drop it sometime this week. Probably going to talk about the Astros stuff. Going to talk about the NBA All-Star Game. Going to talk about those Kobe Bryant tributes. A couple other things as well rolling around as we enter in the second half of the NBA and start looking to Major League Baseball coming back to spring training and all of that going on. Joker's Wild says, "Rocha, you the man. Hope you're having a great day. I'm starting out well in here with you guys. So yes, I'm having a good day so far. Please remember that the Super Chats are open and so is the Streamlabs. If you want to send anything through, want me to answer any big question for you all, I love it. Unfortunately, I don't have a moderator today, so I'm not able to, maybe I can copy and do something with the Streamlabs website for people to kind of contribute in that way if they want to have any of their big questions answered or what have you. But we're gonna, kind of jump into everything in just a second and get it going. No, the stream. All right, hope we're doing okay. How are we? Are we doing all right? Are we back into this thing? Oh no, the stream stopped. Damn it. Oh no. Shit. All right. Okay, are we back up? Can you guys tell me if we're back up? Because the OBS. Okay, phew. All right, good. We're good to go. Sorry, the OBS dumped out there just a second ago. So unfortunately, that was kind of the situation there. That's what I get for trying to go over to Streamlabs and do too much. That's on me. I was trying to do too much. All right. Anyway, all right, we're back up. Good to go. All right, let's jump into this thing. Let's jump into the first thing. That is Sonic. All right, let me jump in. Let me grab the statistics for myself. All right, so Sonic, pretty incredible stuff here. Sonic the Hedgehog kind of blew the doors off the weekend here. $57 million for the President's Day weekend over Friday through Sunday. It's estimated to get up to about $68 million by the time the holiday is done today. So pretty incredible. And it was made for about $85 million. And it got good to decent or decent to good reviews overall. Nobody said it was completely terrible. That wasn't the vibe across. So pretty incredible stuff here. And remember, this thing got pushed back because of the design. People reacted negatively to the design. So to see it do so well over the weekend is pretty incredible. I mean, if it hits that 68 million or 70 million, you got to look at this thing and go, one, how did this happen? And I think there's a lot of reasons for why this happened. The number one is Sonic the Hedgehog has a good IP connection with people. Also, there hasn't been a lot of like G-rated stuff or PG-rated stuff that's come out that people could have gone to and compare to spend their money on. I think this is where, if you're a Birds of Prey producer or an executive or Margot Robbie, and you're looking at the numbers here, you're thinking to yourself, that could have been our money. If we had gone PG-13, that could have been our money. Sonic the Hedgehog does have a strong audience. You can't deny that. Certainly Jim Carrey being a part of this was great. James Marsden being part of this was great. The character of Sonic, the redesign was certainly a lot better than that initial design. And the reviews really helped, but also there were everything else that was out there was pretty much R-rated with Bad Boys 3, 1917, Birds of Prey. Of course, you've got Jumanji still out there. Most people have seen that stuff already, so it came out at the right time. So you got to ask yourself, if you're looking at this, how much of a mistake really was it for Birds of Prey to go R-rated? Because this money that Sonic the Hedgehog has picked up, this could have been Birds of Prey money, possibly. I'm not saying 100% that's the case, but it's certainly something you have to consider in this situation. So Fantasy Island did okay. Certainly terrible reviews and a cinema score of C-. So that's an unfortunate situation. But look, Sony put this thing out. They're trying to make some money off it. Blumhouse as well. So it's not too shabby. And hey, if you want to listen to me do a voiceover promo for for Fantasy Island, go to the Crypt TV Instagram or Crypt TV Facebook, and I think maybe even the YouTube, and you can hear me doing a little bit of voiceover for their social video projects for Fantasy Island. I'm probably like 10 things you need to know about Fantasy Island. The 4 rules of Fantasy Island. That is me. So you can go and take a look at that as well. Now, this is incredible for Paramount. It's their first #1 since Mission Impossible Fallout. That's over a year ago. So pretty incredible stuff for them, thank God, to do something after a year of not having a #1 at the box office. It's in terms of 3, and this is all coming from some of these stats are coming from Scott Mendelson over at Forbes, who is my favorite box office guy to read and to listen to, because he does great analytics. I know some people have issues with his opinions about movies, but that's got nothing to do with his ability to analyze numbers. He's very good at this. He's saying in terms of 3-day openings, this is Paramount's biggest non-Mission Impossible launch since Star Trek Beyond, which was $58 million in July of 2016, and their first successful new IP-specific franchise launch since Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a $65 million debut in July of 2014. And you have to also think about this. The Detective Pikachu was, I think, 53 million, 54 million for President's Day weekend. So, and that was going up against, and that was going up against Avengers Endgame. So it's like they had it had some competition. This one doesn't look to have too much competition until Onward drops on March 6th. There's possibilities here that it could have legs like Daredevil, which means it could be anywhere from that had 103 million from a $45 million Friday to Monday launch. It could go Deadpool numbers, get it to 155 to 160 million domestic, which would make it the biggest grossing video game movie in unadjusted domestic earnings. It could have Black Panther legs or Kingsman legs. There's all kinds of possibilities for it at this point. So shout out to all the makers of Sonic the Hedgehog, the directors, and certainly the producer Tim Miller. From Terminator Dark Fate. Lord knows he could use a little pick-me-up, and certainly having this movie come in at a positive number is positive for Tim Miller overall. So shout out to him on that. Oh, do I have a super chat up in here I missed? Let me see. Mukbang Reviews says, just saying good morning and thanks for an early morning show. We appreciate it. You're welcome, Mukbang Reviews. My pleasure. Thank you for coming along on this ride with me every morning. No Streamlabs up yet. If you want to send something through Streamlabs, it's www.streamlabs.com/John Rocha/tip, I think is how it works there. But, I'm sure you can go to just streamlabs.com and see it there. All right, what else am I going to talk about here in the box office? Let's take a look. Birds of Prey did all right. It only dropped 48% in its second week. So that's not a negative. It's not great, right? Because it underperformed in its first weekend. But dropping 48% is not necessarily a negative. If it had dropped 70% or whatever, then maybe you could have an argument that it's just not, it's just like done, completely done. But it feels like it's going to be lasting a little bit longer than people may have expected coming out of that opening weekend disappointment. It's nearing 60 million with $100 million domestic, less than certain at this point. So it might not hit that $100 million domestic. It's up to 143 million worldwide. It only hasn't opened in Japan. So it's going to struggle. According to Scott, he's estimated that it will struggle to reach $250 million. So that's unfortunate for that film. I mean, like I said, it got really good reviews across the board, a strong audience score, or cinema score rather. So to see it underperforming was a bit unfortunate for that film. But you counter that, you look at Bad Boys for Life. It's doing so well. It was number 5 this weekend, only down 6% from the previous weekend. It's going to pass $225 million domestic for Bad Boys for Life. I'm telling you, I bet Sony is going insane at how well this movie is doing. I bet they did not anticipate that this was going to be as well or do as well as it did. But look at that, $225 million domestically. And also Jumanji has jumped up. And it's actually up 3%. My God, Jumanji is up 3%. It was estimating to be at the current pace around 300 million, but with this up and now with this kind of upsurge, it could reach 325 million domestically. So yes, it's down about 20% or a little over 20% from the original, but hey, it's not a bad recoup for a sequel. 1917 only dropped 12% itself to add more than 8 million to its profit, and then 175 million domestic is now possible for 1917. 175 million dollars domestically for 1917, a one-take film, British film essentially, about World War One. Pretty incredible. And then Parasite doubled its previous best weekend with 5.5 million. So you got to give a shout out to Parasite there. So here's the box office. The top 10: Sonic the Hedgehog at number 1, as we just said. Birds of Prey, number 2, doing what they did with 17 million. Fantasy Island came in at number 3 with 12 million on an estimated $7 million budget. So it's already almost made its money back. If it just does consistent over the next few weeks, it'll turn a little bit of a tidy profit. The Photograph, which got a lot of positive reviews and a B+ cinema score here, 16 million. Pretty good for The Photograph coming out. A love story between these two incredible actors. I'm sorry, the budget was 16 million. It made 12.27 million in over 2,500 theaters. Bad Boys for Life, as we mentioned, coming in at number 5, 1917 at number 6, Jumanji number 7, Parasite number 8. Doolittle somehow still hanging out there at number 9 with a little over 5 million, only dropping 23% from its previous weekend, making it's right now at about $70 million. And Downhill's the big disappointment, to be honest with you. The cinema score on Downhill was a D. The critic score is about 49%. It only made $4.6 million. This is unfortunate. I mean, Will Ferrell, you have to say, is on a bit of a losing streak with this kind of thing. And overall, I think that's one of the sad parts of this whole situation, because Will Ferrell is one of our favorite comedians, favorite actors. Julia Louis-Dreyfus is so good in these smaller movies. I went to see the movie. Here's what I'll tell you. I enjoyed it. I liked it for what it was. It was just, but I don't think it's the right time to drop it is not Valentine's Day, when people are focused on, like, you know, being in love or trying to find love or overcoming the fact that they're lonely on Valentine's Day. And this film is about a couple that almost gets divorced. So they are having this situation where the dad flips out and runs away when an avalanche comes, leaving his family behind, and then coming back, and what that moment, that decision by the father kind of reveals about his relationship to his family, about his relationship with Julia Louis-Dreyfus, the mom, and the relationship he has with himself, and then what she thinks about the relationship as well. The same people who wrote the Descendants, Jim Rash, he wrote this one. You can tell it has very much a Descendants vibe, in that it deals with actual real human relationships and the absurdity and the weirdness and also the seriousness that can come with those relationships. Yeah, do I think they check all the boxes and knock it out of the park? Absolutely not. But I have to say, I enjoyed myself in the movie. I know it's not getting the best reviews, but I liked it. So that's what I can tell you. I enjoyed the movie overall. All right, that's it for the box office thing. I'm going to try something here. Give a little shout out to Sonic the Hedgehog. Hey, look at that. I transitioned to my first graphic. Shout out to Sonic the Hedgehog for doing incredible work here. I'm going to try and get out to see it sometime in the next couple of days, and then look for my review up on this channel as well. That'll be fun. And here I go, transitioning back to me. Well, what do you know? Look, I've learned to do some new skill on the OBS. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? All right, let's see. Got a lot of people talking here. Dan, any questions from the live chat? Yeah, guys, send me some super chats. Send me some Streamlabs as well. Like I said, www.streamlabs.com /John Rocha/tip. I think that's where it goes. All right, let's move on. Let's see if there's any kind of, I want to see if there's anything that anybody's asked that would be fun. Pizza does the terrible go woke, go broke is correct. It's not actually correct, Pizza, or else Wonder Woman would have fallen apart, Captain Marvel would have fallen apart, Black Panther would have fallen apart. There's a lot of reasons. All the Star Wars movies wouldn't have made the money that they made. So it's a stupid hashtag that really has no actual factual evidence in practice. Is it occasionally true that people don't gravitate to certain films because they get a vibe about it being either anti-man or too much pro-feminist or too much, or they felt like they were shoehorning minorities into the situation? Sure, occasionally that does happen, but it's not across the board. So it's a useless hashtag. It really doesn't mean anything. It doesn't have any real power when you look at the box office results of so many films. So it's cool to hold on to, I guess, if you want to feel this way, but it's not. Black Panther wasn't woke? Really? That scene where at the end where Black Panther is having the conversation with Killmonger, and Killmonger is bringing up slavery and bringing up what happened to people, his people, this whole coming across on the ships, and you tell me that's not woke? Come on, son, wake the hell up. Let's see what else we got here. You're being kind about Will Ferrell. He's on an ugly slump. That's what West Texas Nomad says. Well, I'm being kind because I like Will Ferrell. I think Will Ferrell's very funny. I think he's good in the movie. I think Will Ferrell can do drama like nobody's business. Stranger Than Fiction, he's fantastic in Stranger Than Fiction. People don't give him enough credit for what he can do with that, what he did with that film, or what he does with drama. You know, the best comedians can be really great dramatic actors. You don't need me to tell you that. I'm sure you've seen it a number of times. Robin Williams, what have you. I think Julie Louis-Dreyfus is fantastic in this film as well. She's very good when she does comedy, or does drama rather. And in this film, they find these like painfully awkward moments between each other as a couple that is tough to watch and is tough to experience. But if you've ever been in a relationship that's kind of like in a transition place or maybe falling apart, you will feel a certain level of connection to some of the scenes in the movie. Overall, so I think it's a well-acted film. I think maybe it was missing another 20 minutes. It's a tight film because it's an hour and 25 minutes. It's not a long film. And I think maybe the extra 20 minutes in there, maybe fleshing out a little more of this relationship, fleshing out, maybe flashbacking to certain situations, because he's dealing with the death of his father that has happened, I think, within the last year as the movie starts. So he's in he's in a transition place himself about how he views his life and what he wants to do with his life, and what he wants to do next, and what he values and what he doesn't value. And of course, she's in a transition too, because she's been dealing with him, dealing with the death of his father, and trying to raise these two young boys and what have you. So a lot goes on in this movie that you didn't expect overall. So cool graphics, says Luis Macias. Thank you so much. All right, there we go. A lot of people joining here in the chat. What are we up to here? I want to check real quick. Whoa, 266 of you. Thank you so much for joining me on this President's Day. Really appreciate it. Once again, I'm going to put the plug in here. If you want to send in a Streamlabs, please send in a Streamlabs. It's www.streamlabs.com/John Rocha, I think /tip. Take a look there and see what you can do. Send in some stuff. I'll answer your questions here on the Streamlabs, and also Super Chats if you want to send them in. Let's see. Mukbang Reviews has sent one in. He says, this is a super chat. I'm sure you spoke about Lighthouse already, but can you speak to Willem Dafoe's performance or Pattinson's? Yeah, certainly. This is one of those ones that I was able to finally watch again over Christmas. I tell you what, it is not given enough love for sure. The Lighthouse, because I think it features two incredible performances from Pattinson and Dafoe in a very period type film, with the dialogue and the the cadence of their speech as they're playing these two characters. I think the cinematography is off the charts. I think the fact that it was shot in 4:6 instead of 16:9, I thought was really cool. I enjoyed the hell out of that. Thought it was a lot of fun to see that kind of technique used in film. Really enjoyed that. I thought some of the imagery, some of the still shots, especially when he's in his dream sequences, I thought was incredible overall. So to me personally, I thought The Lighthouse was an enjoyable experience. Certainly one I didn't regret watching, and it's certainly it's a specific film. You've got to be in a certain mood to enjoy a film like that, and I certainly did with The Lighthouse. So thanks for asking about that, Mukbang Reviews. And yes, Willem Dafoe's performance, really good. Pattinson's even better. I mean, this kid, Pattinson, especially on the heels of that Batman reveal of his outfit, I'm excited. I'm certainly excited to see what he's going to do with this thing. He could be knocking it out of the park, to be honest with you. All right, one more here from Little Nate Ain't. Hey, John the Outlaw, big fan. Cheers from Canada. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome from Canada. How are you? Hope you're doing well. What are you guys on a holiday? Obviously, because this is President's Day. This is specifically an American holiday. This is just another Monday in February for you guys, right? I mean, is there a Canadian holiday on this day? You don't have to donate again to answer that question if you want to just answer that question. Brian McGovern says, I don't understand why woke is being used with a negative connotation. It does not seem like being woke is something to be criticized. Yeah, sure, absolutely. I mean, I think people use that as a short default term to try to put down this idea of having more diversity in film and in television and what have you. And by the way, it's just that this has been happening over the last few years, and so there's a pushback, there's a bit of anger, and I've even heard it from actors in the business, in friends I know who've been upset or think that they're not getting as many roles as before because of this push for diversity in certain roles and what have you. So it's interesting to me because the same people who say like, oh, the best person should be cast, also have a hard time believing that the best person might not be a white person or might not be a white male, might not be them even. And I find that to be an interesting kind of I don't know, mentality to have. Can you push it too far? Absolutely. I'll be the first one to say that what happened at the Oscars was going way too far. People making these political statements that had nothing to do with their movie just to get their shots in, and that includes Brad Pitt. I mean, his shots at the Senate hearing with the impeachment stuff. Like, I thought that was completely unnecessary. It didn't have a place in what was happening at the Oscars. So I thought too many people were walking up there to shoehorn their political views rather than just winning the award. Now, if the film had something to do with their political point, with a political point of view, and then they connected it to the film, then that made a lot of sense to me. But it didn't feel that way most of the time. And certainly, Joaquin Phoenix is the one I do excuse or didn't have a problem with, because he's talking about everybody. He's talking about everybody. This idea of like, make sure you explore where your food comes from, and make sure you explore where, what you're putting in your body. That's about everybody, irregardless of political party. He's talking about everybody. So that, I felt, was a little more of a positive comment to be making, whereas most of the time I found a little too much of the political stuff. So that's what I'll tell you. So you can be woke in certain ways if you like, but I think there's nothing wrong with wanting to have diversity, wanting to have equality, wanting to have everybody, getting a shot at the piece of pie. I think that's fair. I think what people get caught up in too much is like, they're trying to shove it down our throats, and I don't think that's necessarily true. In certain moments, in certain situations, maybe. But I don't sense it that's necessarily like when you cast a Chinese person because you want to appeal to the Chinese market. That's kind of a little bit of a blatant thing that they're doing. But if you're casting a female actress, regardless of color, that you want to put into a franchise, I think you want to explore how you can expand the franchise. Is there a market for it? And certainly we've seen Captain Marvel. We saw Wonder Woman. We saw the Star Wars movies. Whatever your feeling is about the quality of the Star Wars movies, you can't argue the profit of the Star Wars movies, the profit of Captain Marvel, the profit of Wonder Woman. So, and I think no one would be saying go woke and go broke if Birds of Prey had come out and it was PG-13. If that had been PG-13, it could have made a lot more money. And then at that point, where's the go woke, go broke hashtag? It's in the trash can where it belongs. So, all right, let's see. What's our next one? Chris Scorpio says, just sending support on this fine Monday morning. Well, thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Mukbang Reviews with another super chat. Thanks for mentioning the dreams, cinematography, speech, and the actors' performances. You are the best, and you get it. Oh, thank you, Mukbang. I appreciate it madly. Little Nate, it's Family Day here in Ontario, Canada. Oh, okay. I told you not to donate, so I appreciate you donating again. Thank you so much. Little Nate ain't. It's Family Day here in Ontario. Okay, it's Family Day. I'm going to look that up. Family Day is kind of cool. We don't have a Family Day as a holiday here in the States, so I think that's kind of nice. We got a Father's Day. We got a Mother's Day. We don't have a Family Day. That would be kind of fun. Yeah, Ben Landers said, and Bill Burr said it best, in my opinion, some of these actors don't give a shit about what they're preaching. What they want is their speech to go viral. Yeah, I mean, look what happened between Natalie Portman and Rose McGowan, right? Natalie Portman wore that robe where she had the names of all the female directors that weren't nominated for Best Picture or Best Director, right? But then Rose McGowan called her out and said, your kind of protest or your kind of feminism is a hollow feminism because your production company, out of the 11 directors you've hired to direct your films, only 2 of them have been women, and 1 of them was you. So, or both of them was you. And so she was taking a shot at this at what she thinks is lip service to the cause, actual lip. So that's another part of this thing that I think people have to explore, is that sometimes celebrities take these causes on and don't necessarily put their money where their mouth is. And of course, Natalie pushed back and said that she had other projects that she was working with female directors, but they fell apart. Well, okay, we got to see more evidence of that, I think, because I think Rose was absolutely right to call her out on that. And Natalie could have been like, well, I'm not going to do this film unless we get a female director. You can't tell me that Natalie Portman doesn't have some kind of weight to stop that from happening. So there's so much that could be happening here in the world of celebrity and in the world of protests. And trust me, I know all about people saying one thing out of the side of their mouths and doing something else the other side of their mouths. It happens all the time in this city, regardless of what business you're in. So you see it all the time. All right, let's move on to our next story, and that's for The Matrix 4. Let me bring up a cool little graphic here. All right, so apparently this was what happened. There was a leaked set video that was done. Let me give the Twitter user VEDOV VDoveTO37. So VDoveTO37 posted a video of Neo and Trinity riding down the road on a motorcycle. Pretty interesting stuff. I got a quick shot of it right here. There you go. There's Keanu Reeves up there on the right. That is Carrie-Ann Moss on the left on the motorcycle. There's the videos up there on Twitter for you to take a look at there. And it's from the San Francisco set of The Matrix 4. Reunites Carrie-Ann Moss and Keanu Reeves as Trinity and Neo. Now, the guy recording it, you hear him say Redondo Beach. So maybe they're shooting in San Francisco. And maybe this guy was giving himself a shout out that he is based out of Redondo Beach. I don't know. But you look at Keanu Reeves, he's got shaggy hair, he's got the beard, he's on the back of Carrie-Ann Moss's bike, and they're being, kind of pushed along in this thing. It's looking like Trinity is, some of the speculation has been that Trinity is acting as a mentor to Neo and replacing Morpheus in the role. Of course, there are rumors that Yahya Abdul-Mateen II was being cast to play a younger version of Morpheus, and that Neo and Trinity are essentially going to be the guidance or the counselors for this version of Morpheus. So we'll see if that comes to pass. Trinity is also wearing a variation of her signature black leather look. But Neo looks more like looks like John Wick is what they were describing him as. Of course, this is directed by Lana Wachowski from a script she co-wrote with Alexander Hammond and David Mitchell. The film, as I said, stars Abdul-Mateen II. Then you got Jonathan Groff in this thing, Erendira Ibarra, Neil Patrick Harris, Jessica Henwick, Jada Pinkett is coming back. Remember her from those previous two installments of The Matrix, Reloaded and Revolution. She was a part of that. So, a lot of people don't have the greatest feeling about the Matrix trilogy because of those last two installments. And this idea that somehow Neo and Trinity are back, because if you remember, look, and this is a spoiler alert. I mean, this film's been out for 20 or 30 years. I suppose this is a sort of a spoiler alert. But remember, they died in the third movie. They died, both of them. Her from, I think it was, I'm sorry, from the crash. There was, she got pierced from the debris of the crash, and she died. And the Neo, of course, surrendered himself at the end to battle the Matrix overall and start a new cycle. But we heard that in the Matrix from the Oracle and I think it's the creator, and they have the conversation about, oh, this has been happening in cycles over and over and over again. So maybe this is a new cycle we're getting with Neo and with Trinity coming back into the Matrix world to school the new Morpheus. That's certainly possible. So that is a fascinating thing to consider with both of these people. Look, I'm a massive fan of Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Ann Moss in the original Matrix. Certainly their scenes in the next two installments were fantastic as well. But it's great to see them together on a motorcycle. I'm a massive fan of this franchise, the first film, and want it to do well. I'm worried because you're bringing back the people, or one of the people that directed those last two installments. But maybe, just maybe, and I hear the Merovingian is going to come back in some form as well. So, but maybe we'll see how they put this thing together. I'm looking forward to it. I hope it works out. It's nice to see them do the motorcycle, all this kind of stuff. And there were rumors. Let me see if I can find that article, if I have it up, about how this is possible. Someone, I think it was on Screen Rant, they did a nice column or article about how Trinity could be back, and it had to do with the Matrix Online game. That somehow the robotic overlords or the AI created a Trinity human facsimile, and she was part of this whole thing because they were trying to become human themselves. And so that's kind of, maybe she's back only in the Matrix, like she doesn't exist out in the real world. She only exists in the Matrix. Because remember, Neo breaking this thing released everybody from the Matrix. And so maybe there are people who don't want to be in the real world anymore. They want to go back to the Matrix, want to live their dreams again, want to be back in that situation. Remember, Joey Pants, in the movie, he willingly turns on everybody in the Nebuchadnezzar so that he could taste that steak. So, that's part of it as well. All right, I got some super chats coming in. I want to get them. I don't want to miss them here. This is from Mukbang Reviews. What are your favorite Japanese films? Mine is Spirited Away, Studio Ghibli film. That's fantastic. I have a lot of Japanese films I love. They're mostly Kurosawa films for sure, and some animated films as well. Certainly some anime films as well, like Akira and Ghost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shell 2, Innocence is fantastic. Certainly Death Note is great. I enjoy that kind of stuff. Lil Nate Ain, another super chat. Thank you. Not sure if you're a Star Trek fan, but what do you think about Picard? I'm kind of a Trekkie, and I'm digging it so far. Well, first of all, Lil Nate Ain, yes, 1,000%. I'm a massive Star Trek fan. Some people would argue that I'm a bigger Star Trek fan than a Star Wars fan, but it's just two different fandoms for me. But I love them both. Certainly love Star Trek. I think Star Trek has my heart. Star Wars has my brain. That's how I always say it. Overall, though, I think Picard is fantastic. I'm loving the hell out of Picard. Been enjoying it so much. A lot of stuff going down with Picard that I enjoy with the Romulans and what's true about what's happening with everyone else that's going on. All the outer things that are going on outside of this thing with the two twins. You got stuff going on with who's really a spy, who's not a spy. Are those two people taking care of Picard in the house? Are they legitimately on his side? I love the fact that he's built this crew out. Love that 7 and 9 came back in that last episode, kicking ass. So there's so much to enjoy about Picard. What I've been saying is they discovered what worked in the second season of Star Trek Discovery for Star Trek overall. They understood. We've got to touch base with the foundation of Star Trek, and from there, as long as we establish that, we can go and do whatever we want to do. And that's what it seems to me. That's what seems to me what's happening here with Picard. They understood what it was about Star Trek overall that works, and they put Picard in the middle. And I love that Picard is cantankerous. I love that people are pissed off at dealing with him. I love that they expose that Picard has used people as a captain would. This is the real truth. Sometimes a captain has to make these terrible decisions that in the end were better for people overall, but the singular people who got hurt by these decisions carry the grudge and the anger of it. And you see it in the show, and I think Alison Pill is fantastic on the show as well. So much to enjoy about Picard. We've been doing reviews of the episode 1 and 2. We have it on the Geek Buddies, the three of us doing that review. We'll be doing review of episode 3 and 4. That'll be up on the channel as well, on the Outlaw Nation channel, or on the podcast as well if you want to enjoy that. All right, have I got everybody's? I want to make sure I got everybody's super chats. And make sure I haven't missed anybody. All right, let's move on to some Streamlabs. Have I got any Streamlabs down here? That I do. All right, yay. Egg Yoked says, Outlaw Nation. Thank you, Egg Yoked. I appreciate that. Stephen Anderson, now a double Rocha patron, top 10, and now individually. We'll support you in anything you do. Oh, thank you, Stephen. I appreciate that. And here, let me tell you something. For those of you who have been who have come aboard the patron train early on in January. Thank you so much. You've been coming on slowly but surely over February. My goal is to be with the patrons for an hour a day, doing whatever, helping me study for my match with Oyama, helping me, or just talking about film, maybe doing a commentary with you all of one of my Schmodown matches, or doing an overall commentary of a movie that you all select if you're, one of those tiers. All of that stuff is possible. That is my goal. I know I haven't been the best at keeping up on that. I'm learning how to do Patreon step by step. John Mariano has been on me about it, and I'm setting everything up. Though it's been taking so much of my time. But now that things are kind of leveling out, and I'm figuring out what I can commit time to, what I can't commit time to. Then I'm 100% down with spending more time with the patrons and giving you more and more access to my thoughts and opinions, points of views that are exclusively for the patrons, exclusively just for the patrons. Let me see here. All right, we have 390 concurrent viewers, but only 114 likes. I'd really appreciate if y'all would move your cursor over and hit like on this. Get me up to 300 likes on this video. That'd be fantastic. Really appreciate all of you tuning in. Or almost 400 people tuning in to listen to me talk this morning. And thank you so much for doing that. All right, Movie Fanobi, he donated. He says, Happy Monday, Rocha. Were you on set for Video Drew's team match a couple of weeks ago? Her match will be on Patreon today in the $10 tier. You guys had great chemistry on your stream. Hopefully there will be more when she's back in New York. Enjoy your week. Steve, yeah, thank you, Steve. I was there for her match. I was there front row. No spoilers. I was there to watch it. Really enjoyable match. I think you guys are going to enjoy it tomorrow as well, and you're going to have a few laughs. Video Drew knows how to make you laugh. She's very unusual in that way, but fantastic. She's so cool about so many things. She's actually going to be coming over a little bit later on today in the afternoon. We're going to record a couple of videos, or maybe 3 videos, and we're going to put those up down the road for people to watch or to listen to. So yes, definitely there'll be stuff in motion with me and Video Drew going forward. we're going to do it like, like we do. If you guys watch Strong Style, my pro wrestling show that I do here on the Outlaw Nation channel, Aaron and I through Skype, or we're going to go through StreamYard. We'll record stuff like that. So if we can make all that happen, then I think we'll be good to go. We definitely want to work together more in the future creating these videos, because we have two unusual points of views, and they kind of work together when we get together to talk about something. So look for those videos coming up later from her with us together. Let's see here. All right, Jose Ulua, he sent in a Streamlabs, a Super Chat. Thank you so much. Rocha, just heard your interview with Danny Fernandez. Thanks so much for making that. Keep up the great work. Yeah, that's, that was one of my early episodes of the Deep Cut. The Deep Cut I created so that I could have conversations with people about stuff that maybe people aren't talking about or afraid to talk about, or not, or to interview artists or creators that were getting turned down by my previous outlet because they felt they couldn't get enough clicks or they couldn't get enough views with these people. And I wanted to bring them in because I thought they deserved to have a fun conversation, an interesting conversation. I think the fans who were subscribers to the channel would have enjoyed hearing from filmmakers that are doing other work, documentaries, smaller films, what have you. I loved bringing them in to talk to them about their work, and that was what was exciting to me about the Deep Cut. And I'm able to keep the Deep Cut name, and I'm going forward with it. I have an interview set up for later this week with one of the cast members from Emma, an actor I've enjoyed watching over and over again. So he's coming on. We're going to talk for about 45, 50 minutes about his process, about his work on the film, and about himself. So that's going to be fun. So there'll be more and more of that down the road with Deep Cut as I get more and more established, hopefully, with the publicists, with the studio people, and they seem like this is the way to go. So that's where the Deep Cut is. And what Danny and I talked about, Danny was very kind to come on. Danny wrote a fantastic article in Playboy about how Avengers Endgame addresses PTSD and mental health and depression and suicide after Thanos has wiped out half the galaxy and half the planet, how people are dealing with it, and heroes as well as regular people. And Danny wrote a fantastic article about it. She's been a very vocal person about mental health stuff. She's really inspired me to be more vocal about the mental health stuff too. I mean, we kind of vibe on that level about it. And so she was great to come on. And maybe sometime down the road, as this gets more established and the studio gets built out a little bit more, I will have Danny back on, if she's willing to come back on to talk more and more about those topics. Because I really think it's not just about film and television entertainment. I think there's something really great to be said about having actual honest conversations about things that people experience in life and how it affects them, and how we all are connected no matter what we're doing with common experiences and common vibes. So that's the kind of thing that I look at. All right, let's see here. Let's see. Okay, The Matrix 4 and Cinephile says The Matrix 4 and John Wick 4 releasing on the same date. WTF. Okay. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think one of those is going to move off that date. I don't think it's gonna they're gonna line up exactly, but yeah. Oh, Ram Show wants to know, Alua, where did you hear that interview? You can. I think it's still up on the Collider Conversations feed there on the iTunes. But if you want, I will be posting these deep cut interviews every week. I'll post one every week till I've posted them, put them all up. So maybe I should put the Danny one up next. Maybe that's not a bad idea after I put this one up with Johnny Flynn, who is going to come on. He's my guest. It's going to come on from Emma, but maybe I'll put the Danny Fernandez one on by popular request sometime this week, since I'm going to put the Johnny one up next week. All right, well, it's not a bad idea. Maybe I could do that for you guys and take a look at that and stuff. And I'll ask Danny if she's okay with that, so you guys can listen to it there. And I'll put it on the YouTube channel. And by the way, for those that let you all know, I am starting the Outlaw Nation podcast feed, and on that podcast feed will be all the shows: Deep Cut, the Q&As, the live streams. I think the Mornings with the Outlaw will be there as well. Oh, Strong Style will be jumping on there. Geek Buddies has its own iTunes feed, so if you want to go on there, or Spotify or Stitcher, wherever, it has its own thing. If you want to subscribe to that, Top 10 is its own thing, Cinephiles is its own thing. But this is Outlaw Nation, stuff that's basically created by the Outlaw Nation. That will be all on the feed. So I'm getting that set up. Takes a little bit of time with Anchor and what have you. It's not easy. So there we go. All right. Jose Ulua says, it's Ouya. Oh, sorry. Uyoa. Okay. Jose Uyoa Can't wait for the deep cuts. Yeah, I'll definitely be putting those up. Don't worry about it. Absolutely be putting the deep cuts up. There's so much happening in my world that I want to keep going with you all. So yeah, look for those very, very soon. Little Nate 8. Oh, another super chat. Thank you, Little Nate. Nice, glad you're a fellow Trek fan. By the way, there are only 4 lights. LOL. 4 lights. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. By the way, there are only 4 lights. Did he say something earlier that I missed? 4 lights. Let's see. Did I miss something from you, my man? Oh, well, I guess I must have said something anyway. 4 lights. All right. Well, there we go. Oh, all right. My first drink since I started this thing. All right. All right. No Streamlabs have come in. No new Streamlabs have come in. So, all right. Let's move on to the last thing I wanted to talk about here. I got about 25 minutes left before I have to jump out and go to SEN Live. Would love it if you guys could send him some more Streamlabs. If you haven't sent any Streamlabs in, would be fun to get some Streamlabs rolling through here. You can do it at www.streamlabs.com/John Rocha/tip. So I don't have a moderator today who, the call to action guys have been great, but hey, it's a holiday. They certainly have a right to have a day off. I just wanted to come on and talk with you all about this kind of stuff. So if you want to, and maybe Haskell can post the address kind of as a pseudo moderator in here, post the address for the Streamlabs and for the any other ways, and for the Patreon as well. If you want to join my Patreon, you can do that at www.patreon.com/John Rocha. Go and join there. See all the multiple tiers that John Mariano and I set up for you to donate at. And trust me, I will be all over this thing starting tomorrow. Every day, finding a way to spend at least an hour, if not in the Discord, if not talking with you all, if not setting up a video, spending an hour with you all every day with the patrons. You guys are going to become my sole focus, or one of my sole focuses in my life, along with the YouTube channel, along with building this all up. So, all right, we're over 400 viewers. Would love it if you all gave me some likes. Swing over there, hit that like button. The like button's important. Lets YouTube know how many people are tuning in, how many people are enjoying the show. So please hit that like button. It's only 145. Would love it if everybody who's watching right now just kind of moves that cursor over, hits that like button, and gets me up to 400 likes. That would be incredible. I have about 23 minutes left in this stream, so please, or in the show rather, Mornings with the Outlaw. So please hit that like button. 146. Someone hit a like button. Thank you so much. Come on, hit that like button. Yeah. I'm asking, will you send Haskell, will you just post the address for the Streamlabs, post the address for the Patreon on here every couple of minutes, every 3 or 4 minutes would be great, my man. All right. Let's move on to the next thing. And that's, it's President's Day today. And so I wanted to talk about my favorite presidents, best movie/TV presidents ever. In honor of President's Day, I thought it'd be kind of fun for Mornings with the Outlaw, see what you all think. And like I said, it was about 22 minutes left before I have to get on the road and head over to SEN Live and host that today with Kate Mulligan, Brett Sheridan, RB3, Ben Goddard. Going to be a lot of fun. All right, so in terms of best movie/TV presidents ever, I just picked out 5 that I want to start off with. Number 5 is Kevin Kline in Dave Kovic. Kevin Kline, that movie, plays 2 roles. He plays the grumpy, philandering president, William Mitchell, and his wife is Sigourney Weaver. She's the first lady. He suffers a stroke, and then Frank Langella, who's this kind of corrupt member of the president's staff, they find Kevin Kline, a guy who looks like the president. His name's Dave Kovic. He's an employment agent. They convince him to be the president, to simulate being the president. It's very funny. Well, the country turns around. The people start to love the president. Sigourney Weaver falls in love with him as kind of a pseudo replacement for the man she had before. He restores funding for homeless children. He introduces a jobs bill, and then using her assistants and other people on the cabinet who don't want to have Frank Langella take things over and essentially be a puppet, essentially turn the president into a puppet. He becomes the president and is overall a very fun, positive, lighthearted movie about the presidency. Great quote. If you've ever seen the look on somebody's face the day they finally get a job, I've had some experience with this. They look like they could fly, and it's not about the paycheck. It's about respect. What a great thing to say. All right, so my fourth president is President Selina Meyer from Veep. She is fantastic in that show. Julia Louis-Dreyfus in Veep. She is so, she is profane as they come. She's as brutally honest as they come, and incredibly self-aware and unself-aware, conveniently, when situations call for it. But it's Julia Louis-Dreyfus's charming magnetism that brings you back every season to watch and see what kind of insanity and inanity her and her staff get into as they try to achieve her goal of being the president, her naked goal of wanting to be president and wanting the power of the presidency to legitimize her as a person. It is an incredible watch, with full of great humor, funny jokes, incredible off-color jokes, but works well within the system, but also exposing how corrupt our system really is of the presidency and politics, and how much it's all about egos and it's all about humoring people. It's not necessarily all about people going in who want to do the best for this country. And I think that's funny to expose all of that. Of course, Armando Iannucci being the driving force of that show with Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Really fantastic. She spent most of her 12 months as a president scheming to be reelected by a voting public she detests. Yes. Presidential quote from her: "I don't want to sound insensitive, but don't you think mudslides are the funniest kinds of natural disasters?" That's the level of humor that you get in the show. Hey guys, once again, the likes, would love you to get the likes up. It's 158 right now. Get me to 400. We have 430 of you watching me right now. Please get up to 400. If you want to send a Streamlabs through before we wrap this thing up the next 19 minutes, do that, please. www.streamlabs.com/John Rocha/tip. Send it through there, and we'll be good to go. I'll try to answer all of them before we have to wrap up and I head over to SCN Live. All right, number 3 is President Josiah Jed Bartlet from the West Wing. How could you not choose Jed Bartlet from the West Wing? Listen, it was a struggle to keep him out of the top 2, but in the end, I had to. I think he's such a fantastic actor, fantastic president, but it is a TV show, so it's going to have certain limits, and I think that's why I put it at 3rd. And, he does kind of hand it over to Santos, which is fantastic. Jimmy Smith's coming in as a Latino president. Wouldn't that be interesting? A Latino president. Anyway, he has some great moments in the series as President Bart. He is the utopian president, always making the right decision for the situation he's presented with, and whenever he makes the wrong decision or the pig-headed decision or the egotistical decision, he eventually sees the error of his ways and takes the consequences or the punishment. They put him through a lot physically. He has that situation with his health that he struggles with throughout the presidency. He struggles at times, with his daughter, struggles at times with Stockard Channing, his First Lady, his wife, and the rest of his staff, and how they handle things. But it really is a utopian approach to the presidency, but without eliminating some of the requirements and the things that you need to do as president, the hard decisions you need to make as president, because no matter who you help, you're also hurting somebody else. That's just how it goes being the president, because you can't help everybody all the time. There's just no way to make that balance work. It's a great quote from him. "I voted against the bill because I didn't want it to be hard for people to buy milk. I stopped some money from flowing into your pocket. If that angers you, if you resent me, I completely respect that. But if you expect anything different from the President of the United States, I suggest you vote for somebody else." That, an incredible quote from Jed Bartlet there, President Josiah Jed Bartlet on the West Wing. Of course, some of Aaron Sorkin's best work as well. All right, the second president on my list is, of course, President Thomas J. Whitmore from Independence Day, Bill Pullman. Now, some of you probably have him number 1 on your list. So that is incredible. Oh, there we go. Streamlabs.com. Oh, it's John Rocha Says. I'm sorry, guys. John Rocha Says. That's where you're supposed to be donating. Streamlabs.com/John Rocha Says. I apologize. Thank you, Paul, for coming in here as moderator and throwing that up. I appreciate my man. Clearly, I did a terrible job of moderating my own stream. But thank you, Paul, for sliding in here for the last 15, 16 minutes of this Mornings with the Outlaw show. Thank you so much. All right, so anyway, I was saying, Bill Pullman, President Thomas J. Whitmore, Independence Day. I mean, how can you not have him on there? What an incredible, iconic speech. When the aliens have come to try to destroy the world, he is out there motivating everybody with that speech, making the right decisions, confronting the aliens, being unafraid to put himself there on the front lines of talking with these aliens, fighting with these aliens. Yes, I'm talking about aliens, yeah. But I think it's fantastic what he does. And he, the way he motivates Will Smith the interaction with Jeff Goldblum, Margaret Colin, Judd Hirsch, all of it works so well throughout the film. And of course, you have Mary McDonald having her situation, what she worked on, what she's working on to get back to the president. Harry Connick Jr. in there, Randy Quaid with his lunacy. The film itself is so enjoyable. I know a lot of people don't like Independence Day Resurgence. I do, but I know a lot of people don't, because I like revisiting these characters again. But I respect people not liking it. But Independence Day, Bill Pullman, what a great president. It is our Independence Day. Such a great speech for there. And my number one president here is President James Marshall from Air Force One. I mean, how do you not choose Harrison Ford as your number one president on President's Day? Maybe some of you didn't. For me, I had to. That is a great president. He is on the Air Force One. It's a terrorist attack. Gary Oldman is this tough terrorist who's going to maybe kill the president's family if he doesn't surrender certain things to him. There's a nice intelligent back and forth, scheming, maneuvering, Glenn Close on the ground with Dean Stockwell trying to figure things out from there. The president up in the plane trying to figure out who's betrayed him. Xander Berkeley being revealed as the person who's doing that, and then him slowly figuring out Harrison Ford, as only Harrison Ford can do, figuring it out how to get over on these terrorists and delivering that line, that iconic line near the end of the film when he finally wins before the plane totally crashes into the water and says, "Get off of my plane. Get off of my plane. How dare you, sir?" Of course, that's clear President Age, a different thing. But I love that. He's such a great president in that film. Such an incredible... Oh my God, there's almost 500 of you in here. Thank you so much for joining me for Mornings with the Outlaw. I'd love it if you slid that cursor over and hit like on this particular video. Please, want to get over 400 likes before we wrap this thing up at 9:30. That's a goal of mine. So would love it if you give it some love and give me some likes there and swing over there. Hit that like button. Get me up to 930. That'd be fantastic. Anyway, so he's a former soldier turned president, is James Marshall, Harrison Ford's character. What does he say? He was riding solo. And he finds a way to get everybody off of that plane before he has the final confrontation with everybody there. So that's my top 5 presidents on film/television. Of course, everybody real life presidents really enjoyed Daniel Day-Lewis as Lincoln. I think he's probably the top choice you would make for any kind of interpretation of the president. Has there been a good Jack Kennedy on screen? I don't know if there has been a good Jack Kennedy on screen. I certainly don't. It's not easy to do, so I certainly don't fault anybody for not necessarily getting there. All right, we got 2 super chats that have come through here from Little Nate Ain't. Thank you, for donating again, Little Nate. Check out the Next Generation Chain of Command. You'll get it also if you have a beef with R&B. He holds those episodes 2-parter dear to his heart. Could check it out to come up with a roast as the Outlaw character. Yeah, I got to go on Robert's stream. It's been great to see Robert back in the Schmodown. I've always been a fan of Robert. Always love Robert. And I always give him a big hug when I see him because he is just a jovial ball of energy. And I love that man. And I should come on. We should do a special Picard show, me and him, maybe after the season is over. Maybe him and I do a season recap, and we kind of argue about it or discuss it or get on the same page about it. Wow, over 500 of you all in here. Please swing over there, hit that like button. I'd appreciate it. All right, another super chat. Paul, Sonic, the first good and successful video game movie. Well, Detective Pikachu did well, so you can't say it's the first video game movie that did well. And yes, Pikachu counts, I think, in my opinion. From there, what other there has to be a couple other good video game movies out there, right? Some people would argue the Mortal Kombat cheesiness of that original would be a conversation that people liked. Let's see here. The Rap did a nice little countdown. Let me use the Rap as kind of a basis for this and see if where they have the top of their stuff here. What they have at the top. Somehow they put Super Mario Brothers at number 1, which of course is ridiculous. It should be number 46. Resident Evil Retribution they put at number 1. Then they have Afterlife at number 4. Yes, the Mortal Kombat that I mentioned. Silent Hill they like. Final Chapter. Clearly this is skewed towards some Resident Evil decisions. I liked Rampage. I thought for what it wasn't bad. Let's see. The Alicia Vikander Tomb Raider is 18th on their list. The original Resident Evil, the first one is, oh, I'm sorry, that's Vikander's 15th on their list. The original Resident Evil is 18th on their list. So yeah, there's not a lot of good ones for sure. Certainly way more successes on the superhero side of things than there is on the video game side of things. All right, what do you think of my list? What do you guys think? We need a part-time president in 2020, not a real president, says somebody up here. Oh, Paul's in here swiping and swiping. I love it. I love it. It's awesome. Paul's doing a great job already. Let's see. Yeah, that was Reginald Brown saying we need a part-time president in 2020, not a full-time president in 2020. We'll see. I hated Resurgence, says Dan Layson. Stupid story. Fair enough. Rick Amante, loving my choice. Rick Zamora, sorry, loving my choice for Harrison Ford. Yeah, everyone go and get off of my plane. Snaggy wants to know what's happening. What is this about? Well, Snaggy, let me tell you. Every morning from Monday through Friday, I'm doing a show here on the Outlaw Nation YouTube channel. It's called Mornings with the Outlaw, where I sit down and talk with people and talk about 3 kind of main stories in the world of entertainment, and then also answer your super chats and your Streamlabs. So it's my way of staying connected with all the followers and the fans and the people who enjoy this kind of stuff, and doing it my own way. So I appreciate you stopping in to listen to me talking about all this kind of stuff. Justin Sims says Outlaw Nation for life. Really express that. Really appreciate that. Yeah, Thrawn 2K5, smash that like button. Yes, guys, please. There's over 530 of you in here right now. Please hit that like button. Swing that cursor over. Hit the like button. Get me up to 400 or 500 likes. The stream is going to be over at 9:30 because I got to get in the car and drive on over to SCN Live and host that show today. So please give me some likes on this one. Let's see who else we got in here. New Mortal Kombat is coming. That's right. And Nate M., the new Mortal Kombat is coming. I think Benjamin Wallfish is also doing the score for that. Benjamin Wallfish's score in Invisible Man. The Invisible Man is incredible. Incredible. This guy is going to be on the tip of your tongue going forward, the way that Giacchino is on the tip of your tongue, the way that Desplat is on the tip of your tongue, the way that so many of these new composers are in your head, on the tip of your tongue. The composer for Joker, the lady who composed Joker, she's going to be there. There's a lot of great composers now coming through, certainly probably influenced by Hans Zimmer and John Williams and the great ones, James Newton Howard, Jerry Goldsmith, James Horner, all those great composers that have come through, certainly influenced by that, and you see it in their work. And certainly, when I was down there for Mortal Kombat on the set visit, I got to listen to some of the new music that Wallfish is creating for the movie, and it's stellar, absolutely stellar. And by consequence, he followed me on Twitter, and I followed him back. Well, it's kind of great to have a composer that incredible following back on Twitter. All right, here we go. Angry Birds, yeah, a lot of people saying Angry Birds did a good job with that. All right, respect to that. Let's see here. Thrawn says, yo, Paul, you got a link to the like button? That's so funny. Let's see. Chris Scorpio threw in another super chat. Thank you, Chris. Mortal Kombat is the Citizen Kane of video game movies. I don't know. I don't think we've seen the Citizen Kane of video game movies yet. But Mortal Kombat is more like I don't know, a nostalgic, fun film from your past that you enjoy that maybe doesn't hold up as strongly as you would hope. So let's see. Hello, John Rocha. I'm new here on YouTube. Can I have a support, please? Shout out to everyone here. Thank you. I don't know what a support means. Yes, Rosa Eusebio. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for joining me on the Mornings with the Outlaw this morning. Let's see. Reginald Brown says they need more composers. Yeah, no, Reginald Brown music. He loves to come on my stuff and go, listen to my music, listen to my music. But Reginald, I don't have the time. There's so many people who want me to listen to their stuff. I have to pick and choose where I go with that. And usually it's people that I've met before and had conversations with before. Dan Layson says Giacchino's teaser theme for Reeves' The Batman sounds like the Imperial March. I don't know, maybe. Let's see. Monster Hunter hasn't had a movie adaptation, but it could definitely work. Jurassic Park vibes, I'm feeling, says Preston Bryant. Hi, Rocha and chat. This is, oh man, let me try and say this. Kanu Haku Fu Nicole Robin _DB. Hi, Rocha and chat. Just came home and caught your stream. What did I miss? Well, you missed about an hour and a half of fun conversation about Sonic, or hour and 15 minutes rather, fun conversation about Sonic the Hedgehog, about the Matrix 4 set video. There's a release with Trinity and Neo on a motorcycle again, and my conversation about the top 5 presidents on film and television for President's Day. So go all the way back and start watching. Let's see here. Hey, Wiley Todd, congrats, man. That's from Thrawn2K5 about Wiley getting into college for film. Wiley put in a super chat saying that I was one of the people that inspired him to pursue that dream. So if I have any small piece in that, the honor is all mine, to be honest with you. But Wiley Todd, you did it yourself. You studied, you focused, you got into that college. Give yourself, or that film school rather, give yourself all the credit, my man, for taking whatever words anybody said, because I'm sure I wasn't the only one, and letting that motivate you to do what you're doing. All right, over 550 of you in here. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like button for me. I'm at 187. Would love to get at least over 200 before I have to wrap this thing up in the next 5 minutes. Let's see. Sin Affinity and Beyond says, Rocha, everyone knows that Clue is the best game movie because it's a classic. Well, sure, game movie, yes. Video game movie is a whole nother conversation. Clue was never a video game first. It was a board game. It probably is the best board game movie ever. That's not saying much, but it probably is, especially when Battleship was so incredibly terrible. All right, let me take a sip real quick. All right, yeah, come on, Chris Scorpio, come on, guys, like it. All right, about 196, get me over to 200. Come on, guys, I would love it. I got a guy in here, Paul, Raphael Bulgarian. He is telling me to F off. He's telling me that this sucks and this is boring. Oh, I'm sorry, Raphael. So what are you still around? Go move on to another stream. Go move on to another show, pal. You don't have to stick around with me. Go, go, go. There's a bunch of other content you can go and enjoy yourself. Why spread negativity on a holiday, kid? Go fix things inside yourself and go spread positivity in the world someplace else, my man. There is an SEN Live today. Yes, everybody. I should say that as I'm wrapping up here. SEN Live, 10 a.m. this morning at the top of the hour. Come and join me and Kate and Brett Sheridan and Ben Goddard and RB3. We're going to have a lot of fun talking about a lot of stuff like The Mandalorian 2, rumors about Sasha Banks being The Mandalorian 2, all this jazz going down in the world of entertainment news. And, of course, we're going to have a ball, like busting each other's balls and having fun and joking about things and finding out what happened over the weekend. So come and join us on there at the SEN Live, Schmodown Entertainment Network on YouTube. Come and join us. I'm heading over there. I'm like 10 minutes away from there. So I'm jumping off of this and jumping right in the car and jumping over there. So, all right, let me wrap this up then. I got 3 minutes. I should do that. I'm at 198. Give me 2 more likes. Somebody give me 2 more likes to get me over 200 before I have to wrap this thing up. 555 viewers on this thing. Can't thank you all enough for coming on this thing. Hope you enjoyed the graphics. I was able to move some graphics in and out, step by step, figuring out how to do all that, set it up in the OBS. I told you it'll take me a little bit of time, but once I figured it out, I'd take off with it. So, all right, please come join me at SEN Live at 10 o'clock in about 33 minutes. Please ignore Project X, who keeps asking, what are we doing here? Probably needs some attention. That's why he's asking multiple times. The second thing is this. Please follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. I want to make sure I didn't miss any Streamlabs here. No, okay. Follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. Please hit subscribe on my channel as well. I do this every day now. We're doing this from 8:15 to 9:30 every day now. I found that that's the sweet spot for this chat. So 8:15 to 9:30, come join me every day talking about whatever we want to talk about. I'll put 3 topics up and then, ask you guys through your Streamlabs, through your through your super chats, conversations, and what have you. So do that. Please subscribe to my Patreon as well, www.patreon.com/John Rocha. Go and see the multiple tiers I got there for you. I'll be jumping onto that starting tomorrow every day, making time for everybody there in the Patreon side of things and be on the Discord and what have you. Remember to subscribe to the Cinephiles podcast, the Top 10 podcast, and the Geek Buddies podcast. Subscribe to my YouTube channel in case you need to do that kind of stuff. Chris Scorpio, the final super chat here, Outlaw Nation for life. Thank you so much, everybody. Remember to support the Schmodown as well. That's all happening. Big things are happening for the Schmodown, so thank you all so much. All right, until tomorrow, I will be back for another episode at 8:15 a.m. Thank you all so much for the love and support you've given the show, and so many of you joining me on this holiday. And yes, I'm over 200 likes. Thank you so much. Hopefully more of you will swing their like button, hit that like button as you're watching the show, and as I remind you, and you're catching up on the show to get me to over 500 when this is finally done. And subscribe to the Outlaw Nation YouTube channel, my YouTube channel. If you're watching this on, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to let you know about all the content coming up. Later on today, a new episode of Strong Style is dropping. Me and Aaron Turner recorded it. We're talking about The Rock versus John Cena, once in a lifetime, WrestleMania 28. We're talking about that and the legacy of that match and overall. So that'll be up on the channel a little bit later today. But in 30 minutes, come and join me at SCN Live. Until then, much love to all of you. Have a great day. Enjoy yourselves. Be good to yourselves. And once again, whatever you need to do to get through the next second, next minute, next hour, next day, next week, next month, next year, I want you to do it. I want you to do it. I want you to find your way, because you never know what's waiting for you on the other side. If no other example shows you that, I should be that example for you. The Lord knows in 2016, it wasn't going to happen for me. I was not going to keep surviving in this world. And somehow, thanks to the guidance of friends, I found my way through it. And look at this incredible stuff that's going on in my world. So let me be an example for you to keep fighting, keep pushing, keep trying to make your name in this world, or keep trying to realize your dreams, or find some happiness in this world. Just at the base level, find some happiness in this world. It's out there. It can be done. All right. Love all of you. See you tomorrow at 8:15 a.m. Take care. Until then, have a great President's Day, a holiday, and, maybe watch an Outlaw match on the Schmoedown.